So now that I've done 3 gameplay videos for Vault of the Fiends, now we're going to take a look at every card in the set, because not all the cards came out during those 3 games. So before we get into the cards, I do want to show the box. So this is the second set for Dungeoneer, and the artwork here is featured on one of the cards in this set. We'll see if we get to it today in the first card video. If not, it will be in one of the upcoming ones. Okay, let's take a look at the back. Now this one has a set symbol. It's kind of like a flapping flag, I guess that's what that is. It's a little hard to tell. And again, this set had 2 55 card decks that came in it. So down in the lower left, you're going to see the set symbol and either a 1 or a 2, and that will tell you if it came in the first deck or the second deck in this set. And it's listed as a dungeon set, same as the first set, which was Tomb of the Lich Lord. Dungeon set just means that it takes place indoors. So in the first one, you were exploring a tomb, and in this one, it takes place down inside a vault. So you're going to have rooms and passages, same as the first set. So that's what a dungeon set is. Now later on, they have a wilderness set, a city set, so they start giving different environments that you get to explore. And as with the first one, the name of the game is on the top. So if you've got these laying down flat, you'll see that this is Dungeoneer game. And on this end, it's what you are going to be exploring. So this one is the vault. And at the other end, it shows, the predominant monster type. And in this one, it is Fiends, because it's Vault of the Fiends. All right. Now with the box out of the way, we're going to be talking about adventure cards, and those are the brown-backed cards. Now there are 2 types. There are the ones that can be bought with glory points and the ones that can be bought with peril points. In this video, we're going to be talking about the glory points. Those are the cards bought with green glory points. Now there are 2 types of cards you can buy with glory. You've got the treasure cards, which are yellow, and you've got the blue cards, which are boons. And there is an inventory limit for each hero on how many of each they can have in their out in their inventory at once. So you do have to keep that in mind. All right. So we're going to look at the treasure cards first. And in this set, there are 3 different kinds. There are the instant cards that can be played anytime, so that is on your turn or your opponent's turn. There are the permanents, which come out onto the table, and those count towards your inventory limit, and those can only be played in your hero phase. And then there are the attachments. They can also only be played in your hero phase, but these attach to other treasure cards, to permanents, and these do not count towards your inventory limit. Okay, so those are the 3 types of cards that we'll be going over for treasure. So let's look at the first set real good. Okay, first, these are the instances that can be played anytime. Now there are only 3, and they're all potions. The first one is the Fiend Embryo Canister. Now when this is played, you collect 3 peril. Your hero has +1 melee and +1 magic. And Fiends cannot inflict a wound on your hero for the duration of this turn. So it gives you a temporary boost to melee and magic of +1. And there's the artwork for the canister. Very interesting. The ichor of Fiends is invigorating, it says. Okay. Next we have the Potion of Rage, and it costs 3 glory. And when you drink it, you recover 1 life, or 1 wound. And your hero has +1 melee for the duration of this turn. And that's what the Potion of Rage looks like. Nice stoppered up bottle. It says, Assyrian merchants sell a nasty green elixir that makes heroes invincible. Now, Assyrian, that is new, I believe, in this set. And Assyrian merchants are referenced quite a bit. So we'll see that name come up a few more times. And finally, we have the Potion of Speed. It costs 2 glory to play. And your hero has +2 speed for the duration of this turn. Now, since your movement points are dictated by your speed stat bonus, I also can take this to mean you get +2 movement points for that turn. That's how I've played it, and if that's wrong, just leave a comment below to let me know. And here we have the blue, which is the same color as speed, and he's got legs and he's running away, and it says, some twisted mage thought an elusive potion vial with legs would be funny. So that was pretty good. The first time I saw that, I had to laugh. Okay, and the next type are the permanents. Now these are played onto the table from your hand. And each permanent has a type, a category. And out in inventory, you can not have the same, 2 of the same type of cards. But in your hand, it doesn't matter. So this first one is the Holy Breastplate, and it costs 5 glory points. Your hero has +1 melee. Now remember, these are permanent, so once you pull this out, as long as it's in your inventory, you'll be getting these bonuses. So that's the ongoing bonus, but when the card is played, place 1 token on the card, and at any time you may discard a token or the card to recover 1 wound. So it heals. So that's what's awesome about the Holy Breastplate. Totally sounds like a paladin, but yeah, you can have it actually heal you twice. All right, this says, the Holy Breastplate was fashioned after the golden armor of Gwildor. So we've got some a new name there. I'm not sure who Gwildor is. But yeah, look at that. The shoulders, they look like some kind of face on it. All right. We can't take too long or this video will go on forever. All right. Now, next we have the first of 2 cloaks that are in this set. This is the Cloak of Phasing. It costs 3 glory points to bring out. And to use it, you pay 1 glory point to treat any one exit, including a wall, as if open. Do not collect peril and glory for the next space you move into, and ignore the space's effect. You can only use it once per turn. So this is awesome. It basically lets you move to an adjacent space for just 1 glory point. So I really like that, but you can only do it once. And it says, I won't let anything stand in my way. And you can see her phasing through the wall. Now, what I noticed in the first set, Tomb of the Lich Lord, some of the artwork featured some of the heroes that were in that set. And the same goes for this. So this is actually the elf assassin, Shara. Yep, and you will see her quite a bit in this set. Yeah, she makes an appearance on a lot of these cards, as do some of the other heroes. We'll see those too. All right, so that is the Cloak of Phasing. The other cloak is the Cloak of Protection. Now it only costs 1 glory point, and once it's out, at any time you may discard the card to prevent 1 magical wound. And it says here, this magical garment was sewn with the finest threads of Viserion and enchanted by the wizards of Shaydan. Okay, now here's the picture for it. And you see this lizard type guy wearing the cloak. Okay. Sorry about that. Now we move on. We have 2 sets of boots. Now these are considered footwear. The cloaks are have an item listed as cloak, a category. So we have 2 pair of boots, and these are footwear. Boots of planting. So for 3 glory points, your hero cannot be affected by warp type cards. It says, warp spells were created by the mighty Eldritch Lords and are not easily confounded. Now, there are quite a few warp type cards in this set, and those move your character unwillingly. You can your opponent can send you different places in the map. But if you have these boots on, you are planted to the floor, and you can see that some kind of vines or roots coming up, wrapping around the boots. So that's pretty neat. The other pair of boots are the boots of stability. And again, it's footwear. It costs 3 glory points to bring out, and the space your hero is in cannot be affected by shift type cards. Now, shift type cards, they allow a player to take 2 map cards and switch their locations. But if you've got these boots on, the space you're in cannot be moved. Boots of stability are rarely found beyond the rich lands of Viserion. Now this looks like, to me, and you can see, see the spiked like cloak, like thing around behind his head. That to me looks like Throngar, the Dwarven Runecaster. In fact, yep, he's got a long white beard and everything. So this is the first card to feature Throngar. And the artwork is pretty neat. You can see the magic spreading out from the boots, preventing this room from being moved. Okay, next we have a helmet. It's the only helmet in the system, or in this set, and it's the Iron Helmet. Cost 1 glory. At any time you may discard this card to prevent 1 melee wound. Knights of Dalmaranthas wear helmets like this one. And there's the helmet itself. Now that's pretty good. That's a pretty cool helmet. And again, once you have it out on the table, you just discard it at any time to prevent 1 melee wound. Next, we have the only mercenary in the set. This is a banished soldier. Costs 4 glory points. Now, if you remember, in Tomb of the Lich Lord, there was a banished mercenary. So this is the second time we've seen a banished character. Now, when you bring this out, your hero has an ongoing effect of +1 melee to your melee combat. But when it's played, as you bring it out, place 1 token on the card, and at any time you may discard a token or the card to either get an additional +2 melee this turn, or to prevent 1 melee wound. And that is what a banished soldier looks like. A little wild in the eyes and hair. But he has his sword and shield. It says, banished soldiers love money and battle. Alright, so that's the mercenary. Now there's only 1 ring in the set, and it is the Ring of Fiend Resistance. It costs 3 glory points to bring out. While you have it out, your hero has +1 for magic combat, but if it's against fiends, which there are quite a few in this set, your hero will have +2. So this is a good ring to have for this set. The reason I say that is if you are mixing cards among different sets, this will be the best place probably to play this one. No longer do I fear Ramalith's creation. Now Ramalith, he is the mad mage who is down inside the vaults creating all these fiends. They're like his experiments. So you're going to see a few things referencing Ramileth. In fact, the boss card in this set is Ramileth. All right, so you see this figure here, this hand. He's wearing the ring, and it's giving him this extra power. I'm assuming he's fighting, well, we can't assume, but he might be fighting fiends. If he is, then that's a little more powerful than just against other monsters. Okay, next we have a storage item. Now this is the belt pouch, and it costs 1 glory to bring out. Your hero may carry 2 additional treasure items. And that's what the belt pouch looks like. It's a little smaller than the backpack, which was in the first set. And the backpack allowed you to carry 3 additional. But still, this would be a great help for some of these heroes who are really limited to the number of treasure items they can carry at once. This pouch is fashioned from the finest hand-tooled leather from Assyrian. Okay, and yeah, that looks pretty neat. So, not only is it a belt pouch, but it comes with the belt also. Great. Now here is the only weapon. It costs 3 glory points to bring out, and it's the Vampiric Dagger. Now this one I love. I've only played it once. It's only come out once for me, and I had to discard it. So I didn't even get to use it. The effect is that when you have a successful melee attack, the opponent must overcome a melee threat 4, or he takes 1 additional wound. Here's the good part. And your hero recovers 1 wound. So essentially, it takes that extra point from your opponent, from your enemy, and gives it to you. Your life is now mine. You can see, yeah, is that blood? Now, for me, the sign of a well-designed game is when you can use themes like this with the built-in mechanics. So just using, a reward for a successful attack, and the opponent takes this test, and if they fail it, then they lose 1 and you gain 1. You essentially steal their life. So it's neat that within the rules and mechanics already built into the game, you can come up with cool cards like that. All right, and the final type of treasure is the attachment, and this is a gem of Arcana, and it costs 2 glory points. This is the only gem, the only attachment in this set, and when it's attached to another treasure card, your hero has +1 magic for combat. If you are forced to discard the treasure card this is attached to, you may discard this card instead. And that's what it looks like. A little claw holding the gem itself. And it says, the Eldritch Lords made many strange and powerful baubles. Now, this would have been great for me to attach to the Vampiric Dagger. Not only would it have improved my magic combat, but when I was forced to discard it, I could have got rid of that instead and kept the dagger. Okay, so those are all the treasure cards that are in the set. Now there are 4 types of boon cards in this set. Let's take a look real quick at the 4 types. The first is the response. Now this is when you are in combat, when an attack has been declared on you, you can cast a response card. It's an instant, so it gets discarded when you use it. The second kind is the permanent, which can be played on your hero phase. Now these are played into your inventory. They stay out on the table. Then there are the other 2 instants, the one that is played during your hero phase, and the ones that are played anytime, either on your turn or your opponent's turn. Okay, so the first one we're going to go through is the the response cards. Now there are only 2 in this set, and they're considered skills. But again, once you play them, they get discarded because they are an instant. The first one costs 1 glory, and it's called Diversion. Target an attacking monster. It attacks a monster or hero of your choice in the same space. But if there are no monsters or heroes, or if you choose, it can just ignore you and you avoid that fight. Now this is the artwork for it. Now, I'm pretty sure that is one of the monsters that are in this set, but I don't know off the top of my head which one it is. And it says, "You want that fool over there, not me." So that's just redirecting the monster to something else that's in your space. The second one is called Hide in Shadows. It costs 3, so it's a bit more expensive. But for this one, no monsters may attack you for the duration of this combat. I got to play that once when 2 big ones were attacking. And it was great. I avoided all the combat. It says, "Nord, hide in shadows real good." Now this is another character, or hero. It is Nord Fimble. Now this is the Gnome Illusionist, and he's going to be on a couple of different cards in this set. But this is the first one. He's hiding in the shadows to avoid combat. Alright, the next card type that we're going to go over is the Anytime instant. So these can be played on your turn or your opponent's turn, and it is discarded when you play it. These all have different types. These are foils, and there are 2 foils in this set. First one costs 1 glory, and it's called Shift Resistance. Target shift type card is discarded before it can take effect. So if someone plays a shift card, and that again, that's where it takes 2 different locations and swaps them on the map. If someone plays one, you could play this, and it discards their card before the swap takes effect. And it says, Aurelia disapproves of your meddling with time and space. It was a little hard to read that name with that lightning bolt right there. But yeah, so here we have a room map card with the purple magic preventing the shift from happening. The second one is the Warp Resistance. It only costs 1 glory, and this target warp type card is discarded before it can take effect. And this is the one where it will move a hero to a different place, different location, and you play this and you do not have to move your hero. And this says, "Hang in there." And once again, we have the assassin being featured. This is Shara. And once again, we've got the purple resistance magic in effect, and this time it's on her instead of on the room itself. Okay, and that is Warp Resistance. Okay, next we have one maneuver. It's called Dodge, and you only costs 1 glory point. Avoid all wounds and any additional effects from one melee attack. And there's the artwork for that. And again, I'm pretty sure that is one of the Fiends in this set, but I'm not familiar enough with the Fiends yet. It says, "Ha! Missed me!" So you can see the guy dodging the swipe there from the Fiend. Okay, next we have a spell. There are 2 spells. One, the Arcane Master, and it costs 1 glory to bring out, to play. Change any one attack against your hero to a magic attack. So in this case, we've got the Impaloraptors attacking, and I believe it's a melee type attack, so they've got a pretty good bonus for melee, but not for magic. So if you turn this into a magic attack, their attack bonus goes down, while yours could possibly go up. And you see him using his hand to cast that spell. And it says, "Only a true master can make an Impaloraptor do magic tricks." Pretty funny. And finally, the other spell is Fiend Targeter. Now this costs 4 glory, it's a little bit expensive, but your hero has +1 magic for the turn, and your hero's next magic attack on a Fiend encounter monster, now that's encounter, not a quest monster, this turn is automatically successful. So here you see him casting in on Fiend, and it says, I studied Fiends till my eyes bled. Now, I believe that might be someone from the set. Oh, yeah, that's the dwarf again. Here he is. He's easy to recognize from that thing behind his head and his long beard. But anyway, Throngar, that's his second appearance so far. And he's casting Fiend Targeter. Okay, the next type, we're going to be looking at instance cards that can only be cast on your turn in your hero phase. And again, these are played and discarded right away. This one's called Find Secret Door. Treat any one wall in your space as open for the duration of this turn. It is 1 free movement to move through it. So that is really great because walls, they can definitely hinder you. You know, if you need to get to the space, let's say, adjacent to you to the top of your card, to the north, and if there's a wall, it may take you an extra 3 movement points to go from here to 1, 2, 3, just to get up there. So if you can find the secret door, you can pass through even without a movement point. That's really great. And here you can see the door coming out. It was well blended in with the bricks, the stonework of the wall. And it says, gnomes are particularly good at finding hidden places. And again, this is Nord, our gnome illusionist. This time we see him from the back as he's moving through the hidden door, the secret door. Okay, and the other kind of hero instant is the targeted teleport, and it costs 2 glory. Now this relocate your hero to any occupied passage. If you initiate a challenge on the same turn, collect 4 peril. Now this says the ethereal void is difficult to navigate. Now the only catch to this one, this can really come in handy, but the only catch to this one is you have to go to a passage that's already occupied. So it will not take you to a room, and it won't take you anywhere by yourself. You have to go where someone else is. Now this is another character that's in this set. This is Maluvius. He's the Draken Sentinel, and he's easy to tell. He's got this weird helmet thing, but you can tell by the hoses or something coming out the back. Okay, so that is targeted teleport. Now the last card type of boon that we have, these are the permanents. When you play these, they go into your inventory on the table until they're discarded or replaced or gotten rid of some other way. Now there are 2 maneuvers in this set. The first one's called Fiend Slayer, and it costs 3 glory. While it's out, your hero has +1 to melee combat, and you've got +2 against melee against fiends. So Fiend Slayer, that's similar to that other card that was magic against fiends. And this says, back, you fiends. And does that look familiar? The artwork? It should. That's the one that's on the box. Yep. Now for Tomb of the Lich Lord, the box art was divided into 2 different cards. But in this one, that is the entire piece of art on one card. Okay, so that is the first maneuver that you can play. The second maneuver is the Precision Attack. It costs 3 glory points. While it's out, your hero rolls 1 additional die in all melee attacks. Choose the highest die for each attack. Aim carefully to hit the vitals. Here we see some undead or some skeletons at the bottom. But the hero here, he's fighting a fiend for sure. And this looks like, could that be, nope, not him. There is a hero, I'm not sure. could this possibly be the Beastmaster? Let's take a look. He's got the helmet with the eye holes that cover the top half of his face. No shirt. You know what? I think that is the Beastmaster right there. Anyway, yeah. So he's definitely fighting that fiend, and it's definitely melee combat, so he's getting that bonus. All right, the next type of permanent you can play is a skill. Now this is called haste. When it costs 3 glory points, and when this is out, your hero has +1 to his speed ability. And as I said with the potion of speed earlier, or the potion of haste, what was it? The potion of speed. I also add +1 movement point to the hero who has this played. It says the gravity is lighter here on Tarnus than it was back on Gertha. Now that makes me, it almost sounds like 2 different planets, because countries or continents would be on the same planet and have the same gravity. So this sounds maybe a different dimension. I don't know. You've got this lizard guy, and he's obviously in a hurry, haste. Okay. So next we have 3 spells that you can play into your inventory. Eldritch Mastery costs 3 glory points. At any time you may pay any number of glory to add that number to your next magic attack. So that just basically pumps up your magic attack for every glory point you spend. And here again we see the dwarf, the Runecaster. Actually, he's kind of in the same, he's got his hand in the same position. He is casting or improving his magic attack. And it says, the lore of the Eldritch Lords is within my grasps. Grasps, that is. Okay, the next spell is the Fiend Blaster. Costs 4 glory points. While this is out, your hero has +1 to magic combat. And as a response, so when you've got this out, when you're being attacked, you can cast this spell, pay any number of glory. Each fiend in your hero's space must overcome threat magic for that number, however many glory you spent, or take 1 wound. And that's for each fiend. So if you've got a bunch of them coming at you, you cast the Fiend Blaster, and each one has a chance of taking a wound. And a lot of the fiends, that's all they have is 1 wound, so you may be able to take them out as a response before they even hit you. And this says, taste my arcane flames. And there he is casting it. Now this one, I don't know, is this one of the characters? Is that him? Nope. Anyway, it could be. And the last spell in the set is Precision Arcana. It costs 3 to bring out. And your hero rolls 1 additional die in all magic attacks. Choose the highest die in each attack. And it says, I may be small, but my arcane knowledge is great. And there he is. You can see him casting. Now that is Nord, again, the Gnome Illusionist. And of course he's small. He's a gnome. And you can see the magic going on behind him. And he's going to... that just really improves your chances of getting a good roll when you're rolling 2 dice instead of 1. Now, there is 1 talent that you can learn for 3 glory. You can play the Strategic Mind. And this is one of my favorite cards in the set. And yes, it does feature Shara the Assassin again. This says you may draw and hold 1 additional card during your discard draw phase. That means you're going to have 6 cards in your hand instead of 5. And how does that help? Well, man, on your opponent's turn, or on your turn, you've got possibly one more peril card you can play on your opponent. Or even when it gets to your hero phase, you've possibly got 1 more good glory card that you can play. So whenever I get this one, it's usually one of the first cards I pull out. And it says, I think better than you. So that's that. And the last card, the last glory point card in this set is called Healing. And now this is Vitalis, which is just kind of a healing. I don't know if it's a skill or a spell. It's definitely magical. It costs 3 to bring it to the table, and when it's played, you have this one-time bonus where you recover 1 wound. But beyond that, during your other turns, you are able to pay 1 movement and 3 glory points to recover 1 wound. And you can only use it once per turn, and that is a permanent ability you have as long as the card is in your inventory. Now again, we have Throngar performing this on another person down there. All right, and that is the last boon card. So we've gone through all the treasure cards, all the boon cards for Vault of the Fiends. Come back in my next video to watch my next video, and I will go through all the cards that are bought with peril points. Thanks for watching.